All right. Damn it, I said I wasn't going to say all right. Illini Basketball Podcast. Now, the cameras are tiny right now, and that's on purpose as a joke. So I'll fix that here in a minute, but just so everybody's clear, you can't see us at all, can you? Nice try.
Whoa.
There we go.
Right.
Press the wrong one. Episode 157. You definitely wrote the wrong date on here, but it is March 30th, 2023. So it took us, 6 days to be back?
Yeah, back here a little bit sooner than what we thought, but not surprising.
Well, a lot of people said that this guy wasn't entering the portal, and then he did. So by a lot of people, I mean, like, you definitely said that. So it's just,
what do you mean? I didn't say that. Did I say that?
I'm pretty sure we could find a clip where you said, I don't think Epps is going anywhere.
Man,
and
I had buddies text me and ask me who I thought was leaving, and Epps was number 2. So, but of course, I think it was out there about 3 days before he actually said he was going to the portal. But yeah, Jaden Epps in the portal. See you later. Also today, Brandon Lieb announced. Great.
Brandon Lee, big loss. Where's he going to go? I mean, Eastern Illinois?
They're going to be so upset. I don't know. Where's he from originally? Do you know?
Deerfield, Illinois. Now, can we get a little bit of an Eastern Illinois?
Maybe? You think he can make it Bradley?
What about a little bit of an Eastern Illinois pipeline? Jermaine Hamlin went there. Now, let Lieb go there. Just keep feeding them our number 12 player on the depth chart, who's a center.
Yeah. I mean, I assume this means Illinois is going after a center of some sort.
I think that's
probably would have anyways, but
I think that's pretty clear. And we'll talk about Dane Danger, but I think it doesn't matter whether the center that they target is a starter or not. I think Dane is going to play in his role, and whether he's starting or not remains to be seen with the portal.
That's true. As far as Jaden Epps, there's a lot of talk about Underwood not being able to keep guards and all this stuff. Terrence Shannon Jr. came out on Twitter and said that Brad Underwood's the greatest coach in the NCAA after the viral him screaming at people, came back up again. People thought he was taking shots at Epps. I don't necessarily.
I think he's taking shots at Sky if he's taking shots at anybody.
Yeah. He talks about how him and Epps were best friends, whatever. So I don't know. I think that Epps is probably going back to the East Coast. It sounds like he's probably going back with Ed Cooley. Now that he's at Georgetown, they probably got a little bit more NIL money than Providence had, where he committed to before decommitting and coming to Illinois. So I can see that. I mean, these kids are 18 years old. I mean, I went to Florida State for a semester. So, you come to Illinois and you're like, oh, this is awful.
Yeah, you're definitely the same level of athlete as Jaden Epps for sure.
It had nothing to do with being an athlete. It's about missing home.
Well,
that's where he's
I think it's a little bit different when you're.
I think the only way it hurts is I know K-State. People are talking about K-State. So if he goes to K-State, I guess then that's out the window. But his body language towards the end of the year, I don't know. I think more people are more mad because Brad gives these guys so much playing time, like Adam Miller, guys like that. They're playing. They're not sitting the bench. They're not playing, 8 minutes a game. They're playing 20 plus minutes. They still transfer. So, Epps is going to be good, and it sucks, but. You got to. He's not a point guard, though.
That's the thing. I think that's the state of college basketball is.
Yeah,
you lose these guys all the time, and the streak is alive and well for Illinois. They keep losing these guys left and right. I'm going to count Curbelo as the second part of that streak because I think it was the right move for both sides from near the portal. But he played a ton as a freshman and sophomore, and then he transferred. So
yeah. I don't know. People are starting to say, Brad Underwood can't keep a guy for 4 years. I think everybody said, oh, well, Lieb, and then Lieb leaves. So I don't know.
Hawkins has a chance to do that.
Yeah. And I don't know if you can. I mean, the thing is, like, Io left early to go to the NBA. Kofi left to go play in China or wherever he's at right now.
Japan, yeah.
So it's not like those guys couldn't have stayed 4 years. They just didn't stay 4 years.
Well, I think Brad's style of coaching is probably one that's not going to last in terms of I don't think there's going to be a lot of guys coming up right now that are like the younger coaches are a lot more stoic and mild mannered, and I don't think that Brad's coaching style is for everybody. And
I agree.
also business for Illinois
It
because
looked. I mean, the end of the last game, Epps got his ass chewed out and sat the bench the rest of the time. You could kind of see something was brewing there, but Berkey said as long as he doesn't go to Wisconsin, I don't think he's going to Wisconsin. Zach says I was told on Twitter last night it happens everywhere. To an extent, I would say it happens a lot. Not guys that play 20 plus minutes. So I think
we got to think of each
the Twitter trolls are out in full force in the Illini Nation. So
we got to think of each situation individually, okay? Because Miller didn't seem like an on court issue. It didn't even seem like a Miller issue that much in terms of what the people are saying in terms of rumors. Who knows what's true, what's not? But Curbelo, we know why that happened because it was just a disaster in year 2 for him.
Yeah,
couldn't stay healthy. Didn't seem like it was going to work. Makes sense. Sky
saw the drama he took to St. John's with him. So is that big a loss at this point?
Well,
I think so.
He was a fun player for us.
I loved watching him play. I'm not saying that. I'm just
Sky Clark is I'm not even going to go there. Soft, I think would be my word for it. But hey, whatever. And Epps, I don't know. Epps is just what can you do? I don't know. I mean, maybe Illinois is trying to go out in the portal and get like 25 guards, and they're like, well, we don't know how much you're going to be able to play next year because you're not a point guard. I mean, that's probably not true, but
probably not. Yeah,
because I'm sure that if Sincere and Ty are going to stay, they're going to be factoring into playing a lot.
Yeah, they should be with how they played towards the end of the year. Yeah, that's again, it's just one of those things where you feel like Brad's given these guys everything and it doesn't matter, but they're kids. So maybe missed it. Maybe he didn't like what he saw once he got here. At least he stuck it out. He could have left like Sky did midway through the season, right?
I mean, he didn't lose his starting job, so.
Divine said, I'll take Dre Gibbs anyway. He also says, I also noticed Harris went out of his way to take Illini men's basketball out of his bio.
Yeah, well, if that's true, then Sincere is creating a lot of drama for a guy that can't shoot.
Yeah. And that's the rumors that go around, right? RJ apparently took it out of his Instagram bio.
Why did they even put it in there?
I don't know.
I mean, it's stupid. It's dumb. And also, Chester Frazier here to stay. So nice try.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Not going to George Mason.
Wasn't even mentioned in George Mason.
Yeah.
Like, not even, like, it was always Tony Skin.
Yeah. So how many more guys do you think leave? What's your...
I'd set the number at 1.5, and I go over, I think. Probably 2.
2?
I think RJ, and I think... Sincere? I don't know. Feels weird.
I don't know.
I mean, Sincere probably wants to be the starting point guard or whatever.
Yeah, Sincere, like he tweeted out that he was coming back, then he took it down. He retweeted Dane Danger coming back. I don't even know where to stand with these people. These people, sounds bad.
these players, our team. I mean, what are we doing? But I think
that's bad.
Yeah, I think Sincere. I mean, I feel like if he was gonna, there's no way that they did the end of season meeting and said we don't want you back.
Right.
So it can't be that.
Right.
And we know Goody's coming back, so you can pin him in.
Pin him in. We got 2 guys coming back right now.
2 of our best. 2 of our best.
Is that where we're sitting? And I texted you about Epps. I know Zach was mentioning it on Twitter. I think that this means Terrence Shannon's going to the NBA. I think that was his only, close friend on the team from the way it sounded. I know that they all love each other, whatever they say. I think Terrence Shannon was a big part of Jaden Epps sticking with it. So I think that this means TSJ's at least going to test the waters. I don't know if he'll come back.
Did we ever really expect him to come back, though?
No, I don't think anybody really does.
Yeah. So
whatever. So
I also wrote this on the thing. Bringing in a 4 or 5-star freshman has never mattered less than it does right now. And that is the effect of the portal, because there are a number of really good teams out there that have these 4 stars or 5 stars either barely playing or not playing, and they enter the portal. There's a little bit of a difference with Illinois because most of them have played a lot. But like MJ Rice at Kansas was a 4-star coming in from Durham, North Carolina, probably should have just gone to Duke and didn't play at all at Kansas, or didn't play that much, and he's in the portal. So that's another 4. So many 4 or 5-star guys after 1 year. The guy from Auburn, Johan Traore or whatever his name is, big 5-star coming in, barely played last season, enters the portal. Now the difference is that Illinois guys that enter the portal are typically guys that play a lot. So that's a bit of a problem, I think.
Yeah, that's the question mark over it all, I think, is the
recruiting still matters, but it doesn't matter quite as much. If you can find those 3-star guys that end up being really good, that's kind of the sweet spot. Combining those guys with portal guys, because 4 and 5 stars, it's just, you never know what they're going to do.
Drama, honestly. I mean, if they don't pan out, they're not willing to work with that team to turn out later. I saw somebody tweet out that about Frank Kaminsky averaged like 6 minutes his sophomore year or something like that, and look where he ended up. I mean, but you don't have to stick it out anymore, right?
Yeah.
You can leave after a year if you don't like it. The problem is when you leave, you're kind of stuck at wherever you go. So you better make sure that one works.
Yeah.
Goes here. Hey fellas, I was late. Is Harris leaving? There's no word on Sincere leaving yet. He is in Ethan's top 2 guys to leave though. So,
well, I think if there's a guy that's here to stick it out and is a very non-dramatic 4-star, it's Ty Rogers, and I hope that I'm right.
Yeah, I think that Ty Rogers and Sincere, I think that they have something together. Like, I mean, the way they play. So I hope that they would want to stick it out together. I
would make them the faces of the second unit this year, and maybe Ty starts depending on what they bring in.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know where that leaves DGL. I think he's got to get some minutes as well. We don't want. I mean, he's gone. He's coming. Well, let me just say this.
Get that out of the way now.
I was about to say it. He's the next 4-star that's going to play 15 or so minutes and then leave. But it'll be a fun year because he's very athletic, so he'll do some cool stuff.
I just hope, I hope Brad didn't say, "Hey, you're getting 25 minutes game."
It's a little bit of a worry, though, when you just keep bringing in these guys, these freshmen that decommitted from other places.
Right.
Like DGL did that. Sky did that. Epps did that.
Yeah.
You look at other, everybody, pretty much every 5-star in the last 20 years committed to DePaul and then decommitted. So
that's true.
I don't know if that one should count, but Sky committed to 2 places. So that's kind of the difference there.
Yeah.
And I'm not even going to – the Kaminsky thing is different because I think a lot of us sit here and we're like, well, Io and Trent are different. But Io and Trent were playing a lot their entire time here. They were never, sitting on the bench on a good team.
Yeah. So and
that's the difference.
Transfer portal wasn't what it was back
I don't think Io or Trent were ever going anywhere, though, because Trent –
I don't either, but I'm saying Io wasn't going to go somewhere else and sit out a year. Is what I'm saying.
I don't think he was going to go somewhere else, no matter what the.
Regardless, yeah, he wanted to be the Illinois Revival, which you gotta love. So,
still haven't got into a Sweet 16.
Yeah, still haven't, but we will next year because Dane Danger is coming back.
God, yeah, I mean, hey, this is a huge. The next 8 months will be huge for development for Dane Danger. Huge if he can figure it out. And maybe move his feet and defend. Can we hire Orlando Antigua for a few months?
Yeah, maybe just send him down to Kentucky for a little bit.
Fine by me. I mean,
Figure something out.
they want to be an NBA draft factory. Why don't they just lean into the college player for other school development factory?
There you go. Dane is back. I assume. My thing is Dane. I don't think he could go anywhere if he wanted to. Just because, I mean, he already sat out 1 year. He's redshirted already, right? I mean, he's going to be 42 by the time he graduates college. So
He might be really good by then.
yeah. D Brown was excited. He tweeted out. He said, "Quote, yes, did I say that right?
Yeah.
Great news to end my day. I rock with big fella. He can hoop. Hashtag real hooper ILL." How'd that make you feel?
Not sure if
Hearing
D
that from
Brown
D.
was
Brown?
watching the games, but that's all right. I mean, he can definitely hoop against Kansas City and Monmouth, but
Yeah. You talk about development. I mean, they've been trying to develop him since a year ago, November. So it's not like he hasn't been on campus for a while developing.
takes time.
Sack says Sky is the biggest misstep in the Underwood era. If Underwood brings in Ramey S. Sky, who is effective and can help develop Jaden, not only do we have a better season, but Epps maybe stays.
It's certainly true. I mean, the Sky thing was a disaster.
Divine would like to see his body, though.
Well, you assume that Dane is going to, maybe lose a little weight again. So
yes, I agree with the Sky thing. I think Underwood probably should have saw the writing on the wall.
Disaster with a capital DISASSTER. I think that's right.
How many S's were in that?
I think I put one too many. I put 3 in there. That's on me. That's on me.
That's all right.
It's very early. It's like 6 a.m. pretty much.
That's true. But yeah, I think that if you go after, I think that's what they're going to do now, right? I mean, you hope Brad learned his lesson.
Probably not, though. Probably not. I think he'll just keep going after the shiny 5-star that keeps the boosters happy, which I don't know if it does, but maybe it does. Like, oh, we got another 5-star. Here we go. Like, how many 4 or 5 stars at Illinois have worked out in the last 10 years? 3, maybe?
Maybe, yeah.
Io and Kofi are definitely 2 of them.
So you think Brad needs to start recruiting like he did at Stephen F. Austin?
No, but I think getting those guys in the 80s to the 120s, and then also using the portal to your advantage, getting older players in the portal is kind of the way to do it. I mean, look at K-State. K-State kept Marquise Noel and Ish Mahmood, who's now transferring, and there might have been one more guy that was on the team last year. Then they just went out in the portal, got a bunch of other guys, and they went on a run. UConn is an example of using the portal a little bit, but also developing guys, keeping them around, and then bringing in a big-time player like Jordan Hawkins that can make shots. So I think the mold is to use the portal to your advantage, and you don't need to go out and get the big 5-star, recruits every year.
Right. Jeffrey says Dane is a serious recruiting problem. He's the weak link on the team. Okay.
Well, it might keep them from getting a good center.
Yeah. Wesley, curious if you guys saw TSJ's comments on Twitter of the video of Brad spazzing at Northwestern. Chan says he's the best coach. Yeah, we talked about that at the beginning.
Well, I got a lot of likes on that GIF that I posted over it. Let me tell you that. Big numbers. Huge numbers. Also, I had a couple tweets this week that I want to discuss that people were taking the wrong way. First of all,
Twitter discussion. Here we go.
First of all, the Brad GIF got 72 likes. Huge numbers. Second of all, I tweeted that we will never see anything like the 2021 team again. And what I mean by that, and it seems like it's hard for people to comprehend these tweets since they're so brilliant. Also, this Purdue dipshit that was trying to fight with me anyway. So I tweeted, let me try to find it here. Okay. Also, I asked if it was a Brad issue. I just want to gauge people's thoughts. Like, is this a Brad issue? That's the common denominator in all these freshman guards transferring, which I think is a valid
of crazy Twitter thinks yes. So
it's a valid question. I mean, it was in the moment too. It was right after Epps left, so I was a little disappointed because everybody thought that I wanted Epps to leave, and that is just so not true.
Who thought you wanted Epps to leave?
People were saying it. People said it.
People these
I
days.
said we'll never see anything like the 2020-21 team again.
Yeah.
And maybe I should have added a little bit more to that, being like it's a team of our guys, a lot of guys that were homegrown, and it was a team that
Stayed.
was a 1 seed. I don't think we'll see that combination ever again. So why is that a stupid thing to say? Because people are asking you why and what kind of way. And then this dipshit, this moron, this idiot says literal 4th grade basketball analysis going on here. I was just saying something. Like there's no analysis. I
There
was
wasn't
just
an
saying something.
analysis. Yes.
Yeah, and Armchair Illinois, a good tweet here. I agree. Glad they won the Big Ten tournament that year because not making the second weekend with that team is Underwood's biggest blemish on his resume thus far, which I
I
think
think that's what everybody still looks back at, right? Like
Yeah.
the Underwood haters still look back on that team and say,
I know the matchup wasn't great, but they were a 1 seed.
Yeah.
Seems kind of rash to say. In what ways? Like, what? How's that? It's just never going to happen again. And
apparently they think that Illinois is a 1 seed contender every year.
We got to find a middle ground here. We got to find a middle ground between the people who are like still think that this team could win like 28 games in a regular season, and then the people who are like Brad is going to run this into the ground.
So I feel like Illinois Twitter fans are like politics. Like it's one extreme or the other. There's no middle ground anymore. So,
I mean, that evidence is piling up in the offseason every year. So
yeah. So you think Dane Danger is gonna get a starting spot next year when they bring in Khalil Ware or something?
If they bring him in, then no. But I don't think that'll happen, even though I think it would be a good fit. And I know that I'm maybe falling into the 5-star trap again.
Right.
But this guy was a potential lottery pick going into his freshman year. He was a top 10 recruit. I mean, let's be real here. If you have a chance to get that guy, I think you go for it. He was the number 7 player in the 2022 class.
So my question, I guess, is do you think that they're out looking for a backup to Dane, or do you think that they're looking for somebody to push Dane to be better?
I think they are probably just exploring options, and I think they're okay with either result, I would think. Because I don't think they're outwardly looking for like, oh, we need a starting 5. I think they're probably looking to see what the options are, and I think Ware is one of the bigger options. And it, from a fit perspective, I think it makes sense with the way that Brad wants to bring in all these shiny players.
Yeah, and Jeff says Brad lost the team in December. Fact. So this is my take on it, and you kind of you talked about shiny players just there. I think Brad, that was his first experience in portal life, right? I think last year was kind of everybody's first real experience in it and what it can do. And I think that he's gonna stay away from that a little bit more and find guys that, maybe a mid-major, not, the flashy guys. But again, he did say we're going to go out and get superstars. So I could be completely wrong there. Probably completely wrong.
Can I just say that Brad Underwood lost the team in May? Brad Underwood lost this team in May 2022.
Why is that?
Because that's after he had Meyer and Shannon, and it was like, okay, it's over. This is going to be a disaster. Now, looking back, people would have never thought that at the time. You could either say he lost the team in May, or you could say he lost the team in November. One of the two. Or January, I guess, if you want to go there. But
I didn't think he lost the team till March. Wesley says, as an Oregon fan, it sucks to see Ware go, but I understand why. I got stuck behind Dante and just didn't get the minutes he wanted. You and Wesley are both Oregon fans? What's going on here?
Dana Altman, likes to bring back the older players, and N'Faly Dante was certainly one of those. I don't think Ware played very much at all in terms of, at least production-wise, didn't put up very many, numbers that you want to see. But, that's why you have the free portal these days. You could just, hey, I didn't get to play. See you later.
Yeah. I think it's also interesting that they came out and said that, coaching changes, playing time, that stuff does not get you a free waiver. So we'll see if that actually happens.
So
there's a lot of guys entering the portal that are going to have to sit a year too, which is crazy.
Khalil Ware was playing about 20 plus minutes a game until New Year's Eve, and then after that, from January 5th on, he didn't play 20 minutes one time. So, and also, I hate to say this about my guy Dana Altman, but I think Oregon's program is a sinking ship. I think it is going downward fast.
Well, I don't think
I
he's
think they
helping it, is he?
well, he's not in some ways, but I think that they might go under 500 next year. I hate to say that too, because Altman's my guy.
Wesley said Dante healthy though can be great. I'm pretty sure Dana sat him the whole game.
There was a couple games where Ware didn't play at all, yeah. So, and then Altman goes and just destroys Oregon fans essentially after they lost to Wisconsin. So maybe people don't want to go there to look at that stupid court. That's the one negative with Oregon's basketball program is their court is terrible.
He said Wesley says, "What about the 23 recruiting class?"
I guess he's talking about Oregon. I haven't looked, but I think that they're a sinking ship anyway.
All right, on to Coleman Hawkins.
Well, I mean, we're interested in an Oregon player. We got to get the
talk about him when we got him on the thing. How's that sound?
No,
we literally got him on here, don't we?
Is he on here? Wow, had no idea.
I don't know. Coleman is testing the NBA waters. I gotta get this.
All right, cool. Yeah, Coleman. He is testing the NBA waters while also maintaining his eligibility, meaning that he could return for a fourth season. I think this is all going to be based upon what do NBA teams and scouts think about him. What does he think about himself? Like if they say, hey, good chance you're taking early to mid second round, does he want to do that? Like if they say, hey, you'll probably be drafted in the second round, what does he think about that? I think that's all that this comes down to because I think Brad would love to have him back. I think Coleman would like to come back if that were – if he's not satisfied with what the NBA draft teams and scouts and such are saying about him, it's all about what he wants here, I guess. And, I'd put the chances of him coming back. I'm going to say we're going to go close here, 51%.
Yeah, I like that number. You always talk about how NBA is a young guys game, the draft at least.
Especially in the first round, yeah.
So that kind of worries me with Coleman, just because, does he come back and spend another year? I think that he needs a little bit more to be able to play at the NBA level. But does he do that? Does he develop in the G League or does he come back to Illinois to do that?
So right now, by the way, there are no players projected in the lottery in the NBA draft that are over the age of 20.
Yeah. So basically he's not going to get, if he comes back, he's not going to help his draft stock that much.
I think it depends. Okay, let's think about this for a sec. So outside of the lottery, the older players in the first round that would be drafted this year are Chris Murray, who's a junior, Julian Strother from Gonzaga, who's a junior, Trace Jackson Davis. That's a different level, I guess. And then here's the example. Keontae Johnson, who I believe is 23 or 24 because he missed 2 years because of the heart issue. And he came back and was All-American level.
Yeah.
And he was always going to be like going into Florida. He was a huge recruit and a potential lottery pick. But he worked himself back into the first round playing 1 year. And he's going to be 24 by the time he is potentially playing in the NBA. So I think there's some outliers and some different, like the way that Coleman, like the difference with Coleman, I think, if he can develop a little bit more, if he comes back for one more year, is that he could jump right into somebody's rotation next season after one more year of college in the 2024 draft. Because he could probably do it right now, but I think that it would be maybe a little bit of an easier transition if he stays for one more year. I think the second round is also where you see a lot of the older players get drafted. Like you have Jaquez projected, Marcus Sasser projected, Adam Flagler from Baylor, Shannon, obviously in there. Timmy is apparently going to get drafted. I don't know about that. Baylor Shireman. So,
yeah, I think Coleman needs to come back and find a way to make better decisions quicker, I guess.
He's
Ball handling
58th,
a little bit better.
58th out of 60 on this mock. And
That's
and
tough.
Shannon's 48th, and our guy Podge is 37th.
I saw somebody had Podge at 20th.
I think people like the guy. I mean, he's young, developed a lot from year 1 to year 2.
I agree.
I mean, yeah. Do you think Bryce Sensabaugh goes?
Yes.
34th right now. I don't know if I would
really?
go.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Yeah, so Coleman's testing the NBA. We assume Terrence Shannon's going to come out with something soon.
I mean, wasn't Io a potential second-round guy in his second year coming out when he tested the waters the first time and then came back?
Yeah, I believe so.
So he could have been drafted, and he was like, nah, one more year. But then the difference there was like, we could be really good if I come back. I don't think Coleman's going to be, depending on what they do, I guess. But he's got to decide by June 1st. I think that we'll have a good idea of what Illinois' roster is going to look like by June 1st.
Yeah, and maybe Coleman is, he's waiting to see what Illinois does and go from there too. He probably doesn't want to come back and finish last in the Big Ten,
which is where we're headed.
Well, we got Dane Danger and Luke Goody, so I think that's all you need.
Run a little. Let's just
get Lawhorn. And,
just get three players in there with those two, and just have a Goody Danger 2-man game all day
long. That's all you need. So, we're gonna talk a little bit about the portal. We're not insiders. We've talked about this. Probably just give our opinion on if you want guys or not that Illinois has reached out to.
I definitely want Kirk Risa for sure.
Kirk Risa to Nebraska. Him and Tominaga are gonna light it up. Is Tominaga still around? He's got a year, right?
I think so. Namari Burnett is going to Michigan. How about that?
Really?
One of our guys. One of the guys that we wanted a couple years ago.
We'll have to sit out, right?
I don't know.
Probably
not. Yeah, they'll probably give him a free waiver because they're just going to give him to everybody. But hey, that's kind of weird.
Into Michigan, I hear that's tough to get in there.
Is Namari Burnett the next Chaundi Brown in the sense that we wanted him in the portal and then he goes to Michigan? Even though we didn't really want him in this portal cycle, but the first one,
sure,
from Chicago. So maybe that's Michigan's revenge for Shannon. They get another Chicago guy, but they get Namari Burnett, who played limited minutes for Bama last year.
Yeah,
but a former Texas Tech guy.
Jeff says, why is Epps leaving? He's a starter. I think Brad needs to run a different looking offense. We've seen the same thing over and over again.
I don't think I agree with either of those points, but I think the thing is, I don't know if Epps is a starter, number one, with what they're trying to do in the portal. And number two, I think the offense this season, the way it was run, was pretty different from previous years because we saw a lot less 3-man weave this year.
Yeah, there was not a lot of post entry,
and it was the Kofi difference. Yeah,
a lot of at the elbow.
But in terms of the offense looking like trash, yes, we've seen that over and over.
Yes, and I don't know again if it's Brad or if guys didn't want to run plays this year because it seems like a lot of guys didn't want to run plays this year. Trav says it's definitely not surprising anymore to see players enter the portal. Too easy to test waters. Back in the old days, you had to sit out a year. Thanks, COVID. Yeah, I mean that's kind of the thing. I'm sorry, I don't mind the portal. I mean it is. What it is. If coaches can leave for more money and better jobs, then kids should be able to too. So
yeah, I'm okay with the one-time transfer rule. I have no problem with
that. I know
that
a lot of people hate it. Whatever. There's no loyalty. I mean, you're going to find guys that are loyal. There's over 1,200 people in the portal right now. So that's 3 a team in college basketball, basically. So you can't blame coaches or anything like that. I don't think so. Who Illinois has been reaching out to? Here we go. Charleston Southern's Tyree Bryan. Chester Frazier has reached out to him, I believe. You hate this guy, but I like it.
Shit.
6'6", 200-pound junior. These are all what they'll be next year. So this kid's going to be a junior next year. So he has 2 years, maybe 3. I don't know. COVID. That he averaged 10.5 points per game, 5.5 rebounds per game, 1.8 assists per game. He shot 52% from the field, or 45% from the field. Easy for me to say. and 42% from three, shooting 40 of 95 from three. I watched some of this guy's clips. A lot of teams, a lot of mid majors are reaching out to him. I think the only other Power 5, Power 6 team is Virginia Tech right now. FAU's reaching out to him, and he's retweeting FAU stuff. He's from Orlando, so I assume that he's probably going to end up there. But he looks like he can handle the ball well. He can dribble. He can shoot off the dribble with both his right and left hands. He can get in the post and post guys up. Of course, he's doing it against guys that play against Charleston Southern, so I don't know who that is. But he also looked like he attacked the rim on rebounds, which you always love guards that can rebound. So I like this guy a lot. I don't know if Illinois is going to get him. I doubt they get him unless he wants to come here over staying in Florida somewhere. But you hated him when I text you about it. So
I just had never heard of him, to be honest.
Travis says maybe look at getting Caitlin Clark. Yes, please.
By the way, I don't think Iowa is going to win the national championship of women's b-ball, but if they do, that counts. That 100% counts. I will be referencing that for the rest of time. And if anybody says, hey, the Big Ten hasn't won a championship in 20 years, it's like BS. Iowa won 2023. That's what I would say. But I mean, they're probably going to get beat by South Carolina. But I think Caitlin Clark is probably the most exciting player to watch in men's or women's basketball right now in college basketball. Because I don't really think we have that guy in. I guess Marquise Noel was kind of that exciting player to watch, but I think maybe college basketball lacks some of that this year in terms of the really exciting. Like Brandon Miller was great, but was he really exciting to watch? Not really. So, and I think exciting means the 3-pointer is something that you're doing. Tyree Bryan, I think you take the shooting splits with a grain of salt, as they say. I mean, I definitely think that you don't shoot 42% at any level by accident from three.
Right.
And I think the size is good. I don't know what position he would play here. I guess the 3, maybe the 2, depending on what you're doing.
I mean, I think that he can be a guard. His ball handling was good. I don't know if he's a point guard per se, but man, a 6'6" point guard would be nice.
Only averaged 1.8 assists per game, so I'm not sure he's a point guard.
Well, I mean, he didn't have anybody to pass it to at Charleston Southern. So Jeffrey says you can have your opinion, but I'm tired of watching the tallest guy on the team setting picks at the 3-point line. Just think there's a better set to run. I agree.
I agree too, but I'm just saying.
We talked about Dane Danger getting the ball at the free throw line way too much this year. So
the way that you worded your first comment was the reason that I disagreed.
Yeah.
So. Because I don't think that I think I don't know if you're talking about just this season with the same looking offense or the same looking offense over and over this season. Yeah, I guess that's fair. I mean, they did make some changes after the Northwestern game, the first one. But
the biggest problem with Brad's offense is that you can't run it if guys aren't willing to cut and set screens, which the guys last year were not willing to do any of that.
Our best screener is in the portal, folks.
That's true. Lieb never set a phantom screen this year.
Let's see. There's some decent shooters on Charleston Southern, sure.
Yeah.
Not really, no. So was he a JUCO guy or what's the deal here? Because he's only played 1 year at this level.
I don't know.
Interesting. Let's give this a look here, shall we? Okay, let's see. Okay, my God, the Charleston Southern website blows.
Go to ESPN. What are you doing?
I can't see if he was a JUCO guy from ESPN. Yeah, he played at Indiana River State College.
Yep, get him. These are the kind of guys I want.
You want the guys who have played 1 year at this level, and it was at 10 and 21 Charleston Southern.
Yep.
Let's see how he played against Ohio State. He had 2 points on 1 of 6 shooting against Ohio State. Your thoughts?
It's all right.
It's only the second game of the year, though, so at a new place, too. All right, how did he play against UNC Asheville, who won the conference? Let's see. 5 points on 2 of. Yeah, I don't want this guy.
Okay.
No
Mark him off
interest.
the list. Next guy, Grand Canyons.
He's going to FAU anyways.
Yeah, he's going to FAU. It doesn't matter. And then when FAU's a 2 seed next year, you're gonna be like, man, I wish we would have had that Tyree Bryant.
Yeah, 2 seed.
Grand Canyons, Chance McMillan, 6'3", 185. He's gonna be a junior. He averaged 10 points per game, 11 points per game, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. He shot 48% from the field and 44% from 3. I think that every school in Division I basketball has reached out to this kid. So I don't know if Illinois has a chance with him. Also, seems more like another shooting guard. Are there any true point guards these days? So that's the real question.
Marquise Noel.
Yeah. Ty Rogers is staying, correct. As far as we know, Ty Rogers is staying. There's no rumors about him leaving.
Yeah, the best pure point guard in the portal is Taron Armstrong, who, God forbid, Illinois has any interest. What a joke.
Yeah. Northern Colorado's Dalton, I think it's Neck. Is that right? I don't know.
Sure.
Right did a huge breakdown on him.
Well, I'll tell you, this kid might be the best mid-major player in the portal.
Yeah, 6'6", 200 pounds. He's a senior this year, so I don't know if he's a grad transfer or COVID year. I don't know what the rules anymore. Averaged 20 points a game, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 48% from the field, 38% from 3. He can get to the lane. He can dunk. He can shoot. I don't know. You like this guy? You want this guy?
Yeah, this would be one of my tops for sure.
So this kid is basically a better version of RJ Melendez.
I don't think he's quite the athlete that RJ is,
Okay.
but I definitely think you could rely on him to score more
Does he
than RJ.
handle the ball better than RJ?
I feel like I handle the ball better than RJ. So
does he play better defense than RJ?
Don't know. I don't have the defensive film on him quite yet.
All right, next guy, guy that Illinois played against, Virginia's Caden Cedric.
Shedrick. Yeah, this guy blows. What a weight.
Danger's backup right here, fellas. 6'11", 231 pounds. He's going to be a senior. He averaged 6 points a game, 4 rebounds, a half of an assist, shot 64% from the field, and he played about 17 and a half minutes per game.
I mean, if you bring him in as a backup, I guess that's fine, but it seems like a waste. Does he want to go from –
This is a guy that I could see coming to come off the bench.
But, okay, why would he want to go from one power conference school to another just to be a backup?
Just to be a backup. I agree.
And didn't he start against Illinois? I think he started.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did.
So there you go.
Zach says, hopefully we're one of the third parties reaching out to FAU players already.
Yeah, it's kind of effed up.
Stop doing that, Brad, if you are.
I don't think Brad would do that, but maybe.
Oh.
I don't think Brad wants to play dirty like that. But maybe. I hope he does, because we need that. Illinois' program would have a national championship right now if we were more dirty.
If we were more dirty.
100% true. Especially Bruce Weber. Rub some dirt on it, Bruce. Would have won at least one title.
Yeah, that's true. Or if he would have just went to Chicago a couple times, right? Anyways, North Carolina's Dontrez Styles. Always reach out to him. He's 6'6", 210, averaged 1.5 points per game, a rebound, 0.1 assists, shot 36% from the field, 33% from 3 on 3 of 9 shooting. I don't know why Illinois is reaching out to him, but
once again, why would he go from one power conference school to another just to play maybe 2 more minutes a game?
Yeah, these guys seem like mid-major hopefuls that will start shining again. I don't know. Amani Bates style.
Well, Dontrez Styles is not Amani Bates.
Yeah. Louisville's Jalen Withers. 6'9", 220 pounds. He's a grad transfer, but has 2 years of eligibility, I assume, due to COVID. 9 points per game, 5.3 rebounds per game, about an assist a game, 43% from the field, 41.7% from 3-point. He was 40 of 96. What do you think of Jalen Withers?
I mean, look, I would take him, I guess. I don't know. Seems like good enough player.
What's he play, the 4?
I think you could probably play him at the 3 or the 4, yeah.
Do you think that these guys, do you think that – I feel like Coleman entering the draft or whatever for now is going to hurt trying to get guys that are exactly like Coleman, right?
Well, this fella's not quite like Coleman.
Okay.
He's not a passer, obviously. He averaged less than an assist per game. There had to be more than the guys that you listed that Illinois reached out to, right? I think there's something we talked about last time.
Yeah. I did not put any of those guys that we already talked about.
Had they reached out to Caleb Love?
Not that I know of.
I don't think he said anything about who's reached out to him. Maybe he won't just because he's a high-profile guy. He'll just commit to Memphis quietly.
Doesn't everybody say where he's going already, though?
Memphis
or Missouri.
Yeah.
Apparently, Indiana fans think that he's going there.
They were interested in him when he was coming out. But some teams in the Big Ten have already landed players. Before we get to a couple more guys here, especially the next one's definitely your boy. Mike Mitchell from Pepperdine went to Minnesota. I'm not even going to list the transfer portal rankings because these transfer portal rankings I'm reading are just, in a word, horrific. Namari Burnett going to Michigan. Let's see. Oh, yeah, our boy John Tanji going to Mizzou, of course. And Peyton Sparks from Ball State, 6'9", center, going to Indiana. Also, Jaden Henley, by the way, from Minnesota, the freshman, showed some flashes last year, as did most of Minnesota's freshmen. He's going to DePaul, so never going to hear about him again.
Talon Cooper
going to South Carolina, yes. Didn't want him that bad anyway. I don't know why you did.
I'm trying to find a point guard in the portal.
That dude's mid,
Okay.
as the kids say. I think that's it in terms of Big Ten commits in the portal to this point. Yeah, I'm not even going to look past the top 200, but these rankings suck. And let me tell you why. This ranking has the gall, okay? The gall to say that Joe Girard is a better transfer candidate than Jaden Epps, which is insane.
I saw people had him listed at like 20th. Who are you on right now?
I'm not going to name names.
All right. Well, I saw Girard at like 20th, I think, in one of them.
Yeah.
Epps was 13th in that one.
He's 27th in this one, and Epps is 33rd.
Okay.
Like, here's the thing with Joe Girard. When the tweet came out about teams that reached out, fan bases like us that weren't on the list were like, thank God. No interest in this guy.
That's true.
So, I mean, it's just it's these rankings suck. Let's be honest. And also, you got Brandon Murray, who entered the portal, who was an LSU transfer to Georgetown. Illinois majorly interested in him last season before he went to Georgetown. So I wonder if they'll circle the wagons there.
Yeah. Was he committed to Illinois at one time or not?
No.
Okay.
We just had a lot of interest.
And then AJ Storr also entered the portal. Was he committed to Illinois?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I knew there was one of them. So
you're really losing it.
I can't remember.
Also,
I got two more guys.
Nick Timberlake sucks, by the way, so we don't want that guy.
Okay, Timberlake, mark him off the list, folks.
Yeah, he sucks. Overrated trash.
Colorado State's Isaiah Rivera, I believe is how you say that. There hasn't been anything confirmed, but Chester Frazier does follow him on Twitter. He's from Geneseo, Illinois, originally 6'5", 210 pounds. He was a guard for Colorado State, averaging 8.6 points per game, 3.7 rebounds, 1.9 assists. I don't think he's Big Ten talent, but
Feels like a waste.
And like I said, I don't even know if they've reached out to him. I know that Illinois Twitter has kind of, since he's from Geneseo, has said things. So
Would he like to come here and be the 12th man?
sure, why not? Free
I'm gonna
ride.
try to see if I can find him on these rankings. I
I'd
don't
be
know
the
if he'll
12th
be.
man at Illinois.
I don't even know if he'll be ranked.
Yeah, you're not going to find him.
Oh, here he is, 133rd. Not bad.
He had 1 point in 29 minutes in his in the Mountain West Championship against San Diego State. So,
Well, they didn't play in the Mountain West Championship, but
what is this then?
was it last year?
Quarterfinals. Sorry, it just says Mountain West Championship. I didn't keep reading. It says
That was last year.
Final.
Wasn't even this year.
That's last year.
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't play this year. Would they end up?
No, he started this year. He had 1 point in both games. They played them in the second game of the Mountain West tournament. Their second game of the Mountain West tournament the last 2 years, they played San Diego State. He had 1 point in both games.
Yeah. He went 1 for 2 from the line. He had 8 rebounds and 3 blocks, though. So
he started every game there this year.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
He put up 17 points against UNLV.
Cool.
Shot 37% from three. It's better than anything we had.
That's true.
I don't think this would be as bad as you say, but still, it's all right.
I don't know if it'd be bad. I just don't know if he's the guy you want running your team.
He would not be running the team.
Well,
he plays
going to be running the team.
Isaiah Rivera plays the 3.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know what you're talking. What are you, high? Plays the 3.
It's interesting.
Check your sources. I got plenty of people.
Literally on ESPN says guard. So
okay, and I'm on KenPom, which actually takes into account the positions that players play, and he's listed as a 3.
Well, KenPom's an idiot. Anyways,
you're gonna trust ESPN, who just puts down the normal
Charlotte's Bryce Williams. All right, let's finish.
He plays the 3. Nice try.
Me lately. Let's go. Charlotte's Bryce
Because my opinions are good.
6'7", 215 pounds. He's going to be a senior. Averaged 13.8 points per game, 5 rebounds, 1 assist. Shot 47% from the field and 39.7 from 3. So
I gave this guy a yes on Twitter. So
yes. I don't know. It doesn't seem like they're reaching out to any point guard. So
it feels dumb. Bryce Williams is 57th ranked on this list. Like I said, though, these rankings are horrible, so I don't really even take them into account. Bryce Williams
tells me what he plays.
Well, this lists him as a 3, but I'll confirm here. Let's see. Charlotte, Conference USA, won the CBI this year, by the way. Bryce Williams plays the 4 on here, so I think he could play either one. Had 25 points against Milwaukee in the CBI. Put up 32 against UAB, 27 against FIU, 31 against Louisiana Tech and Middle Tennessee. How the hell did he only average 13 points per game? he had like 7 games with 20 plus.
A lot of games with 2.
He did have a lot of games with like 8. The best opponent they played this season was FAU, obviously, and he put up 14 in the second matchup and 16 in the first matchup. And then they also played Boise State. He had 12. So give this guy a yes. Why not? I mean, decent efficiency. Shot 43% from 3 last year, or 2 years ago, I guess, because he must have missed 2022 with injury. Or wait. Yeah. I guess he missed the entire 2022. So it made fresh legs here.
Yeah. I mean, I think that if you lose
30 viewers, nobody commenting. Go ahead.
If you lose RJ, this is a great replacement for him.
He's better than RJ.
That's why I said he's a great replacement. I don't know what you're getting at.
When I think of the word replacement, I just think of the same level of player. But then you put the word great in front of it, so that's on me.
All right. So what do you think?
What happened?
So Illinois needs a backup center.
Point guard. Shooting guard that can shoot. And maybe another wing if RJ leaves.
4.
How many scholarships
Four.
are they going to have if RJ leaves and then TSJ leaves?
A ton.
All right, so yeah, just get in the portal, get Caleb Love as well. Why not? Okay, let me ask the people out there: would you take Caleb Love on this team? 30 viewers, nobody commenting. This is, what are these bots watching?
Probably on Twitter they can't comment.
That's true. If you're on Twitter, we can't see your comments, and it's not our fault. It's StreamYard who they want $1 million a month for this bullshit, and then you can't even see Twitter comments. Jeffrey says yes. Ha! How about that? We may disagree on some things, but we agree that Caleb Love would be fun. It would it not?
No, I do not need a smaller version of Matthew Meyer.
Okay, first of all, he's way more talented than Matthew Meyer from a basketball standpoint. That's number one. Number two, did you watch North Carolina last season? Not this season, last season.
Why would I care about what happened last season? What happened in North Carolina this season?
It wasn't just a Caleb Love issue. A lot of issues. I mean, he had 34 points against Alabama, dude. 34 points on 36 shots. Oh, God, yeah, Zach's probably right. I don't know. I want Caleb Love, though. Why not? Screw it. What do I care? Got nothing to lose anyway. This team's going to suck.
All right.
So, I mean, hey, Caleb Love probably would be a disaster, but guess what? It would be a fun disaster, just like Matthew Meyer was a lot this season. Fun disaster. But would he be a disaster? I don't know. I mean, I could talk myself into that. I could talk myself into him being an All-American, though. I could also do that.
I'm trying to find how many scholarships were available, but I can't find the guy that.
Who's going to be able to – the problem is reining him in. I don't know if Brad's going to rein Caleb Love in. I think that would be the problem.
I mean, does Brad Underwood do that, or does he just say, go have at it? That's what he has.
The problem with the portal is that you're probably making promises, and that's never usually a good thing.
Yeah, Brad's good at making promises. So it's been beneficial so far. So,
yeah. Hold on. Let's see. So I do think it says a little bit about North Carolina when you have probably 3 starters returning and then Caleb Love transferring, kind of the odd man out. Like they didn't want him back. He didn't want to go back. So that's not great.
They have 6 guys transfer?
Puff Johnson, Caleb Love, Dontrez Styles. That's 3. I don't know. Are there more?
I don't know. I heard 6.
Feels like a lot, but I'm assuming there's a couple irrelevant ones that I wouldn't even know. But hey, Caleb Love had 28 points against Duke in a Final Four game. Let's just think about that, and 30 points against UCLA in a Sweet 16 game. So let's all relax. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. This season wasn't great, but you give him a chance to rebound. He was always an NBA level talent. So.
All right. So Caleb Love to Illinois. You heard it here first, folks.
No, he's not coming here. Would you rather have Khalil Ware or Caleb Love?
Khalil Ware.
Man, he's from Arkansas. He might just go to Arkansas.
Jeff says he wants to see some girth and some body.
Yeah, man. Me too.
Rain on ball skills and awareness on defense. What about the dude from Princeton? Pretty sure he had like 26.
Tosan. Or no, Langbor. Yeah, Tosan's
Langbor.
going to the NBA draft. Yeah, I would take him. Why not?
I would absolutely take him.
Need a shooter. I don't know if Luke Goody's going to be to that level this season. Maybe he will be, though. I don't know. So
are you saying that you're good with RJ leaving and replacing him? Or do you a guy that RJ plays behind?
I mean, that is an impossible question to answer. I think I would not. I don't. RJ feels like a mutual parting of the ways type guy after that season. But I think Illinois wants him back. And I would take him back. I think he give him another chance. He looked good.
He's one of those guys that you look at like Jaden Epps. He played a bunch. I mean, Brad played him when he was struggling,
but he sucked so
horrendously. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he sucked.
Yeah, and Brad still played him.
Well, Brad was just trying to be nice. Who else is Brad going to play?
Confidence. The freshman.
Yeah, but those guys can't shoot at all. Like worse than RJ.
26%.
He was still a threat to do it sometimes. He was.
And nobody thinks a 26% three-point shooter is a threat.
Shot like 60% last season.
Nobody said, oh, close out on that
More
RJ
of a threat
guy.
than Ty Rogers.
Close out on that RJ guy. He's a threat to shoot.
You know what Ty
I'm pretty
Rogers?
sure teams were playing off of him late in the season.
You know what Ty Rogers shot from 3 last season?
Why it says who would
0%.
Who would want him?
FAU.
He's a mid-major guy. He might go to Santa Clara or become an NBA prospect. So,
what about FAU? He's from Florida.
What about Florida State?
God, that program. You talk about sinking
on that team.
Sinking ships. That's that program. They don't have any guards. They just roll out a bunch of wings and pretend like they're guards, and it's terrible. At least this season was that. But I would take Bryce Williams from Charlotte. That'd be a nice pickup. I don't think they're going to get Ware, but I would take that, even though I think we might be falling into a trap with that one. But hopefully not. Does anybody know who's reached out to Jameer Nelson Jr.? I'd like to find that out. That would kind of be one of my top guards that I would want, because he could kind of. I mean, he's the size. He's kind of like Epps, except I think he's more of a point guard than Epps. Yeah, Moretti, Sincere, Ty, Luke, and Dane would go 7 and 23. So
you're forgetting about DGL and Hansberry, though.
That's not going to add wins. I mean, a lineup like that, you have one shooter.
It's true.
We need to mark that down as the. We need to mark that down. Mark that comment down as the lineup as of right now.
Zach says Latulip was high on JMJ on Inquirer this week. JN Jr.
He's one of the first guys that talked about. I mean, get him in here. Let's go. Why not? Got the NBA pedigree with his father, right? Jameer Nelson was a solid point guard. I don't know if he wouldn't have to sit out, because I think he already sat out, because he went to George Washington in 2020 before going to Delaware, where Delaware was pretty good with him for a year, I think, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, what about Graham Ike? You want him?
No.
From Wyoming?
No.
6'9" center? But do you want Fardaws and Mike?
No.
Do you want Nick Timberlake? God, that guy's so overrated. Please go to Indiana, you loser.
I want Dane should have played 40 minutes a game.
Well, Nick Timberlake's a shooting guard, but I was just, You want Jamison Battle?
I would take Jamison Battle.
Really? Why?
What do you mean?
What a waste.
He's a bucket getter.
Why? Because he scored 30 against Illinois when they were just trying to shut Garcia down?
No, he's a bucket getter.
Okay.
He closed out those 3 wins Minnesota had.
Really impressive wins, for sure.
Uh-huh.
Where did they beat? Nebraska, Rutgers, and somebody else. Nice. Need 3-point shooters and anyone that can shoot 80% from the line. Well, the free throw line thing's never going to happen, so we could just forget about that. But who's the best free throw shooter under Brad Underwood at Illinois to this point?
Plummer.
Yeah, that's definitely it. Damn shame. It's not even close. Let me find the number here, just for everybody. I mean, we are losing energy fast, let me tell you.
We reached our hour.
Yeah, Alfonso Plummer did miss 11 free throws. That's kind of unacceptable.
That's true.
87% though, so.
Here, throw this up here while you got 30 people watching you.
Yeah, I think I'll be on playback Saturday for the Final Four. There's 2 games, so I guess I'll do both. I mean, I have it currently set up to start with the first game, which is FAU San Diego State, then Miami UConn, which should be a good game. So you hit the playback.tv button.
Yeah, check out the playback.tv.
I don't think I'll be doing the national championship on there, but you never know, I guess. And then after that, I don't know what I'm going to do on playback when college basketball is over.
Wesley said, is Plummer the most overlooked or underrated Illinois player of the Brad Underwood era?
One of them, I would say. But he also didn't really do anything in the tournament, so that kind of hurt him.
Yeah.
Him and Frazier couldn't make a shot in the tournament. I guess Plummer made a few against Chattanooga. I remember he had a couple big ones, but Plummer is definitely the most random, like the types of ways that he would score, the way that his body would like look when he was scoring was very weird.
Yeah.
And he was good.
I would say that, even with the 2 guys, he was the most impactful transfer Illinois had under Brad Underwood.
I don't even know if it was the way they used him either. I think that it just worked. For some guys, it doesn't work. For some guys, it does work.
Right. Yeah, Frazier had pink eye. Yeah.
Well, maybe shouldn't have tried to be a hero then. Maybe shouldn't have played.
1 year will do that. That's true. Only got him a year. So.
All right. So hopefully Illinois lands a transfer within the next 2 weeks, or I think we maybe hit the panic button. I think.
Yeah, I don't know how long these
3
guys
weeks,
will wait. Yeah, 3 weeks probably. The question is, I think the guys have like a month to declare for the Mike, here's a big question before we get off here. If Illinois lands a dominant center, does Dane Danger change his mind?
I don't know. Maybe. I hope so. No, I'm just kidding. I don't think so. I think if you're locked in, you're locked in. He's got to know that there's a possibility of that.
Yeah.
But also, there's only one option, really.
Well, I don't think transferring would be good for him again. So
go to Minnesota. Should have gone to Minnesota in the first place. He's from there. Just go there.
All right.
Talk about a sinking ship. The Minnesota program lost Dennis Evans. Lost a couple of their freshmen from last season. Battle's gone. I guess Garcia's going to stay, right? I think he's got another year. Yeah. Plus, he's already transferred twice, so no way he can do it again. What a mistake that was going to Minnesota. Woo, you're not going to have any chance to play in any big games. But he was on the North Carolina team that got to the national championship game, but he wasn't there because he left already. So nicely done. That was a shot. I didn't mean that. Yeah, we'll be back before May, I would say, for sure. Probably a couple times in April, depending on the way the portal falls.
Yeah.
We'll discuss that.
Portal, we might be doing this weekly.
We'll discuss the return of Coleman Hawkins, which is going to happen. I don't have any inside sources, but I'm telling you right now, that's the feel that I have. And I think our feel
June, right? We got June 1st, I think they have for that.
Our feel in terms of players returning over the years has been pretty spot on. So just so we could,
Yeah, it has.
Coleman Hawkins coming back. Terrence Shannon, though, he's not. So just everybody, we don't have to talk about that anymore. It's a good year for him, kind of, sort of. I don't know. How are we going to view Terrence Shannon 10 years from now as an Illini?
I don't know if we'll even talk about him.
I think we'll have 4 national championships by then, so we'll be talking a lot more about that.
Warner and Piper saw your stream numbers today and decided to go live themselves. That's right.
Well, their show sucks, for sure. We didn't get duped live like other Illini people did, but we won't even go there.
The worst thing was there was a guy that was on the show, and not one of the other two. That was
crossed the line.
What do you mean? I was just trying to boost our numbers. Look, we had 30 today. You're welcome. That was me.
It's really not that many. I think we could do a lot better than that. There's this.
We lost 7 because they're probably watching Warner and Piper. So
yeah, because those guys pretend like they have inside info. We have more inside info than those guys. Come on, please.
it's like they have media passes or something.
What does that get you? You get to sit there and look like a moron.
Pretzels. I think.
Are either of those guys even Illini fans?
I've heard Piper is not. I don't know.
Well, then get them the hell out of here. We need that bullshit.
Do you think media guys should be fans? That's the question.
No, but I don't think that they should be not fans.
Do you think it was weird that Warner was like shitting on Illinois players and talking up other teams' players during the Big Ten towards the end?
Did that happen? I don't know.
Oh,
man,
you tell us if that happened.
Down 9 viewers. Woo.
Yeah, we better get off.
Drop it. You just asked the chat a question. We got to wait a minute now.
Nobody's listening.
That's true. I mean, Hinkle might have the scoop on that, but down 10. Woo,
he's already watching Piper. What's up, Greg? ILL. I. All right, let's get off here. Let people go watch.
Final question.
People.
Final question. Will the Illinois football team will the Illinois football team be will there be more hype for the Illinois football team or the basketball team in the upcoming seasons? This season?
Football.
Really? Okay. That end of the transfer quarterback. Interesting. And do you think that Bielema is – I don't even have a question here. I'm just +3 now. We're back.
Zach's a real one.
Okay. Now, I want to get one more thing here in.
Jeffrey says football.
They're saying football.
Greg says football.
What is the ceiling for the football team this year? Because I don't pay that much attention. 3 in a row. Jeez, the basketball team sucks.
That's my question. Like, so if Illinois football comes out and sucks this year, are all these fans gone again?
I would think so. They lost a lot of good players.
Okay, Illinois football fan. Like, I watch football. I watch the football team, but I don't know enough about football to even talk about it. Do you think Illinois is better this year than they were last year?
I would guess that they don't have the NFL talent that they have.
7 wins.
That feels low. How many did they win last year?
7.
They
8.
won more than 7 last year. Are you kidding me?
Know.
What are you insane?
They don't respond to your comments over there, Zach? Shocker.
Yeah, we would never not do that. They had to have won more than 7 last year. If they only won 7 games last year, then what the hell are we doing?
We have 9 and 8. I don't know if they're telling you.
They went 8-5 last year. But they started out a lot better.
And they started out 5-1.
Basketball team has too many problems to solve. I mean, sometimes that's a good thing.
I think they're going to get solved.
I don't think so, but we can act like it will.
Why wouldn't they?
Because Brad is stubborn and is going to make the same mistakes that he made last season.
I don't think so.
What would people think if their portal additions were Caleb Love and Khalil Ware? Because I
think that Brad went out and got superstars like he said he would.
That's the same exact thing as last season almost, except I think that those guys may be a little bit higher up. At least Ware, but I don't know about Love over Shannon.
Danger? What do you mean about danger? Danger's going to be riding the bench. Yeah, we need to wrap this up.
Yeah. So people would be. Well,
now everybody starts talking.
I thought we would take advantage
if you would have just asked them 20 minutes ago questions.
See, Greg's got the right idea.
Like and subscribe, folks. Like and subscribe. We should have said that when we had 30 people here.
Well, the first thing in the description.
Hey, don't worry. I'll go over to Piper's show and just put like and subscribe and tag our channel. How's that sound?
Well, that's Bush League. I would never condone that.
I would never.
So yeah, I'll be on Playback TV for the Final Four Saturday, I guess. I don't know. I usually just sit there and it's kind of boring sometimes, but that's your fault, not my fault.
Sorry, I have a social life.
Well, that's a waste of time during March. I mean, it's the Final Four for Pete's sake, really. 509, 749 Central of the
Probably-
games.
I'd probably come by the 509 game if I'm
Come by the
around.
worst game. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
all right. Well, guys, thanks for coming out.
Yeah. We'll episode
Don't
one.
oversell it. That's right.
Yeah.
I just sit there and twiddle my thumbs, huh? That's a good selling point.
Exactly.
Zach, come hang out with you.
Sure. Yeah. April is a month where we will return. I was just saying, what do you want me to say? Episode 158 is the next one, even though you keep getting the number wrong every time you start. You're like always 2 off.
I mean,
well, you put episode 155 for this one. I had to change it to 57, which is the correct
no
number.
way I did.
Well, that's a lie, but okay. Yeah, just be advised, I'll be on the Twitter at Podcast Line almost every day, tweeting stuff to bait people,
Getting people angry at us and
asking simple questions. And having all these morons not understand that it's just a simple question.
People calling us fan. What that one guy say? Fan delusion or something like.
The Purdue guy was a dickhead. I mean,
I don't know if he was a Purdue guy. I think
his name said Purdue Knight. Also, let's also say this about that guy is anybody who goes on Twitter and tries to talk down to somebody's follower count, like that's stupid. Number one. Number two, I have more followers than that guy, so I could have pulled that out on him, but I didn't.
I think Underwood's screaming demeanor would be better accepted if he was a better floor coach. And think players realize that after the season under his tutelage, he coaches D well, average O coach. I agree.
But that's the thing, though. It's like Brad coming into Illinois was like a big offensive guy. Like his offenses at Oklahoma State was terrific. I think he had the number one adjusted offense on KenPom. But I think maybe the way that he's coached at Illinois has kind of changed some of that. I mean, he had top 60 offenses and a top 30 offense at Stephen F. Austin in 3 years. Number one offense at Oklahoma State. Their offense in 21 was good. Last year was pretty good. But I think it's harder to have success on offense when you don't have All-Americans, which he didn't have this year. So, all right. We got to get out of here. I think Danger's going to be a really good player this past year versus like his freshman year. Yeah, that's true. We'll see. I don't know if that'll be the case. But your mic is muted, so you got to think about that.
The guy's got to develop over the summer.
That's the big thing. Yeah, and there was speculation or thoughts that maybe RJ didn't do his best to do so last season, but neither here nor there. All right, we'll be back next time, episode 158. Thank you to everybody for joining, and be advised on the Twitter and all that stuff. But we will see you next time for probably some more portal talk and Terrence Shannon going to the NBA draft. Okay.